Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Life and Love, where we're trying to make sense of this life and our lives and somehow bring about a quality of love in life in order for us to live our lives with joy. So today we're talking about self-knowledge and the importance of self-knowledge. It's just an introductory video to self-knowledge because it's a big topic to discuss, and we might go over maybe 2 or 3 videos. So what is self-knowledge? And I let the masters describe the self-knowledge one by one. Let's see what they have to say.
Nearly all mankind are more or less unhappy because nearly all do not know the true self. Real happiness abides in self-knowledge alone. All else is fleeting. To know oneself is to be blissful always. Question: is the world progressing now? Answer: there is one who governs the world, and it is his lookout to look after the world. He who has given life to the world knows how to look after it also. If we progress, the world progresses. As you are, so is the world. Without understanding the self, what is the use of understanding the world? Without self-knowledge, the knowledge of the world is of no use. See the world through the eyes of your Supreme Self. Sri Ramana Maharshi.
Here in this statement, Ramana Maharshi points out not only to self-knowledge, but his statements is more deeper than that. But let's look at only from that perspective of self-knowledge. He states that almost all mankind are more or less unhappy. And the reason for it is because they haven't got to the self-knowledge. And he stated that real happiness or joy abides in self-knowledge alone. So, without getting to know who we are, we can never ever come to a quality of mind and heart where there's no more sorrow, there's no more suffering for ourselves and others. Now, let's go to see another saint, what he has to say regarding self-knowledge also.
Only when you know yourself as entirely alien to and different from the body will you find respite from the mixture of fear and craving inseparable from I am the body idea. Merely trying to lessen the fears and satisfying desires will not remove this sense of emptiness you are trying to escape from. Only self-knowledge can help you. By self-knowledge I mean full knowledge of what you are not. Such knowledge is attainable and final. Nisargadatta Maharaj.
In this statement, Nisargadatta Maharaj is pointing out also, same as Ramana Maharshi, the self-knowledge is imperative for us. So we can discard the I am the body idea and merely only trying to fulfill desires and lessen our fears, as he states. So he also states in the end that self-knowledge is not acquired from something or from someone, but self-knowledge comes only when you understand what you are not. So let's go to another saint, see what he has to say regarding self-knowledge.
There are many teachings, but without self-knowledge all of them are meaningless. On this subject there is one statement made by Lord Krishna. Many people read many scriptures, and worship many deities. But without self-knowledge, everything is meaningless. The opinion of the Shaivis. Shaktas, devotees of Shiva and Shakti, or others, are many. There are many faulty doctrines of individuals in illusion who are confused. There is nothing which purifies like self-knowledge. There is nothing that can be found that is as pure as self-knowledge. Therefore, one must first acquire self-knowledge. Of all teachings, the teachings about self-knowledge are special. This has been said by God in many places. The greatness of self-knowledge is not known to even the four-faced Brahma. What can mere individuals understand? The value and status of self-knowledge is billions of times greater than the benefit of all pilgrimages, the results of all sacred baths, or the merit of giving in charity. Saint Sri Samartha Ramdas.
Here, Saint Sri Ramdas is pointing out also the meaning of self-knowledge, and the teaching of self-knowledge is the most important teachings of all. So, doesn't matter what yoga, or doesn't matter what spiritual practice we do, how much charity we do, and how many pilgrimage we make, it does not compare with self-knowledge. So self-knowledge, I would say, it's the pinnacle of all yogas, of all spiritual practices. All other practices are only aids to help you get to that self-knowledge of knowing who you are, and by therefore knowing who the other one is. So let's go to Prophet Muhammad to see what he has to say regarding self-knowledge.
Prophet Muhammad in Hilyat al-Awliya stated, "Whoever knows himself, knows his Lord, Muhammad."
Here Muhammad clearly explains and points out, same like all other saints and sages from all traditions, that self-knowledge is imperative to know God, to know the truth, to know reality as it is, not as we want it to be. Now let's go to see what Christ has to say about that.
Christ states, "When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father. But if you do not come to know yourselves, then you exist in poverty, and you are that poverty." Gospel of Thomas 3.
Here, Christ is the same stating as all other masters, the importance of self-knowledge. And without that self-knowledge, without the self-realization, which is also self-knowledge, because the self-knowledge is once you and me know ourselves, then we come to the realization of who we are. Then we become self-realized, awakened, or whatever one might want to call it. So he says that unless we know ourselves, we will also not know the Father. And also he states that if we don't know ourselves, we will always live in poverty. Here, poverty doesn't mean that you don't have money or food. You might be the richest man in the world, but inwardly, spiritually, one is empty. One doesn't have anything. One is actually in poverty of love, of life, of everything which God and joy is. So it's important for us to look at this, and how one might come to such knowledge is first looking at what the masters have to say regarding self-knowledge, the importance of it, and how one comes about it. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj actually pointed out that self-knowledge is not acquired as you acquire normal knowledge, general knowledge of the world. It's also always, you add something to it. General knowledge like mathematics, physics, you always add something to it. You always acquire something. But self-knowledge is the other way around. You always have to drop something of yourself. You always have to drop all ideas about yourself. You always have to be open to everything, to all possibilities in life, which comes and go. You have to be flexible like water and be able to go in any crane and nooks and flow with life. So self-knowledge is by understanding what you are not, by looking at what you are not, that you are not the body, that you are not actually the mind, that you are not anything else. Then in doing so, in that fully understanding what you are not, you come to know yourself fully. And that's how self-knowledge comes about. But we'll talk about it in the next few videos of more about knowledge and ignorance and the likes. So now at the end, I would like to give you an insight of what I understand of self-knowledge. And I have written something about it, which I like to share with you. I actually written this for a friend of mine, for a dear friend of mine, and I thought I share with all. For you, all are my friends also. So here it is.
From sunrise to sunset we are moving along, lost most of the time, in the depth of thinking. What one may think of, what one may imagine, is of not much importance to the rays of the sun or to the ant in the field. The only importance is to the matter of mind. The self is joyfully playing in the sun or moon rays alike. It does not have preferences or likes and dislikes. The self has its own shining light which gives light to the sun and the moon. It never discriminates a saint from a thief. The self is the beginning and the end alike. So it is eternal and infinite. Only a saint can recognize another. So strive to be one without striving. Love, it is spoken by many and millions of poems try to describe it. But only few beings realize it. In themselves. Love does not discriminate, does not analyze, does not exclude, does not have likes or dislikes. Love only loves. It is as being is in love with being. Love uplifts even the lost, when they surrender into it. For in that surrender, without surrender, the light supreme manifest in all. As the space is everywhere, so is the light and love of the only being, which we are all a part of.
Yeah, this is my deep insight into what the self is. And I wrote this from the depth of my being. I haven't come about through books or through anything. So it is my own manifestation of the self in few words, as one can describe it. It cannot be described, it can only be lived. So in that living, it's harmony, it is space, it is silence, and not a silence where there's no noise. It's a silence where noise or non-noise doesn't matter. So we will talk about this more of self-knowledge in the next video. Till then, I wish you have a blissful day and be happy always. Bye bye.